Stanley, Scuba, Sailing, and Adventures. I appreciate you being here with me. If this is your first time, please hit that subscribe button. Today we're going to be field testing the Chasing Dory underwater drone. We're at Mermet Springs, and I'll be deploying the drone here at the beach and heading over to the petting zoo. As you can see from that aerial view, we've got some great visibility. The petting zoo is an area of lawn ornaments, and there's a game as well. The first thing I notice about the drone is its responsiveness to the controls. In addition, it seems to have quite a bit of power. You can see from this view, it really takes off. Let's take a look at the Dory video recording. Here you can see the Connect 4 game on the right-hand side coming into view. Also coming into view, we have the cement lawn ornaments that I mentioned earlier. This is my first time operating the Dory underwater drone. I didn't have the opportunity to test it or practice in a pool beforehand. And the reason I mention that is hopefully you think I'm doing okay driving the drone, and what I want to convey is the ease of operation. I am by no means an expert in underwater drone operation. In fact, I have very little experience operating underwater drones. You can see here as I'm reversing, the drone holds the depth really well. There are quite a few obstacles here, and I will do my best to not get the tether wrapped around anything. I'm really pleased with the quality and the stability of the video. That being said, I'm very interested in your opinion, so please leave me a comment and share your thoughts on the quality and stability of the video. As I mentioned earlier, there are quite a few things to get the tether caught on here, and I did in fact get the tether caught. I ended up wrapping it around, I guess, the remnants of an old tree. Since the tether is yellow and it floats, it's pretty easy to find. I simply turned the drone around and followed the tether back. Since the Dory uses a buoy and you're not necessarily bound to the control, I probably could have just pulled the buoy around behind me. Here we are exploring the shallow water near the beach. I was really having a blast operating the underwater drone and shooting a lot of video. I have enough video to make a really long just dive video, which I didn't include all of it here because this is really a product review rather than just an entertainment video. Maybe it's a little bit of both, but just so much fun. You can see here, I'm not really the best drone operator. In fact, it was at this point that I learned a valuable lesson. Let the drone control or hold the depth itself and don't overcorrect. You can see right there that little puff of dirt. I crashed into the ground, and we'll take a look and see what that looks like from the Dory's point of view. Preserved on video for all time. Little did I know that some very small stones had become lodged in two of the thrusters. Here you can see the drone is starting to behave erratically. It's no longer responding to the controls. Chances are, if your drone behaves this way, you may have some small stones lodged in the thrusters. They were very difficult to see, and I didn't realize they were there until I got home. I removed the two stones and then tested the dory in the tub and realized there were stones in another thruster. After removing all 5 of the small stones, the drone appeared to return to normal operation. Since it's nearly a 6-hour round trip to Mermet Springs, I decided to test the dory in a local hotel pool to ensure it had returned to normal function before making the trek back to Mermet. As you can see, the function seems to have returned to normal. The dory is so much fun. I ended up driving it around this pool for about an hour. Of course, I won't share all of that video with you. Couple things, since I have it in the pool, I wanted to show you the pivot, so you can pivot up or down and it will hold that direction. I also got a lot more comfortable with the operation. I maybe should have started in a pool. Either way, it's just a lot of fun. I suppose there are some real-world applications for the dory other than just fun. Perhaps using it to inspect things, maybe a pool, maybe the underside of a boat. I think it's designed more for recreational use, but it operates just like a professional drone, in my opinion. The lights are nice and bright, and again, very responsive to the controls. Here I am back at Mermet Springs with the Chasing Dory, ready for another field test. Today the plan is to go off the old primary dock and explore the school bus. However, I'm checking out the visibility and it looks pretty soupy. There's been quite a bit of rain lately, which results in runoff and absolutely impacts the visibility. And as you can see here, as expected, the visibility is pretty low. I'm guessing maybe 5 feet, 3 to 5 feet of visibility. Here I'm going just inside the back of the school bus and quickly turning around and coming back out. The dory's working great again. The visibility just isn't what it was last time. But that's part of the adventure, right? So, final thoughts on the Chasing Dory? Honestly, this thing is just fun. That's probably the best place to start. It's simple to use, it's portable, and it gives you a perspective underwater that you just can't get any other way unless you're actually diving. Setup is pretty straightforward, the app works well, and once you're in the water, it's really intuitive to control. Within a few minutes, you're not thinking about the controls anymore, you're just exploring. Now, it can't fix poor visibility, and visibility plays a big role in what you're going to get out of it. Like anything underwater, conditions matter. But when the water cooperates, the footage is really cool. If you've ever been curious about what's down there, but you don't dive, this is a really cool way to find out.
Thanks for watching. please don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment.